Alexa, play Talking Heads, Psycho Killer.
Psycho Killer by Talking Heads on Amazon Music. Sorry, something went wrong.
Alexa, pause. All right, folks. I figured I'd play Psycho Killer just because that's what they try to paint me as. You're a dangerous black man. So John Novak will be here in about a minute. I started just a minute early by accident by signing on to the meeting. But yeah, this is going to get interesting, folks. And you're going to hear about how members of the establishment use the white woman to villainize me. And it's not just me. It's Breonna Corbray. It's pretty much any black man that gets too strident. They will criminalize you. And I know that the city right now, the taxpayers are paying for people to transcribe things that I say. And so go right ahead. Keep charging the city. Keep charging the taxpayers and transcribe this and let's have at it. Okay. So yeah, this is going to be a very interesting discussion today. And Mr. Novak will be joining me shortly. Camera looks a little bit, I've got it on the blur view, which I didn't necessarily want to do, but let's see here. I forget how to do that. There's a view. Here's Mr. Novak joining me now. Hello, sir.
Hey, how's it going?
It goes well. It goes well. Yeah. I'm trying to do a thing here, but the Zoom call's a little bit fighting me. I should probably pour some wine and get high. That usually helps, because of course I'm going to do that instead of, later on I'm going to drink this motor oil, because I'm a dangerous black man. That's what I do. I drink motor oil. I'm so dangerous, and I go into crimes, because I'm a dangerous black man. We all know that.
Well, that hasn't been my experience with you, but hey.
Well, you know what?
What do I know, huh?
Yeah, right. What do you know? Right. Actually, John, it's been nobody's experience with me, and that's what we're going to talk about. That's exactly it. And so the people who, hey, Miss Sinjo, she's joining us, our co-plaintiff. Well, she should be our co-plaintiff. She's requested to be so. Hi, Sinjo.
Hey,
Hi, Sinjo.
how are you?
Doing good here.
Yep. We are all good. I'm trying to come out of the blur screen though, but I can't think of how I did it or how to get out of it.
Well, you're in focus. It's everything else that's not.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah, right. But no, I like to fix that though. So I mean, I don't mind having the background show and all that. But while we're figuring that out, the reason why we're here today is to discuss how it is that the white woman. Well, first of all, we're going to talk about racism and cannabis in general. But today we're focusing on how the white woman is used to oppress Black men who get too strident. And I can show that throughout my career, which I will do so shortly through concrete examples of that. And it goes back, it's not just me, Jenny Durkan did it to Breonna Corbray. And that's why we're here, folks. Let's not forget about the reason. So, Sinja, we're going to have two parts of this discussion today. The first part is going to be, it all involves cannabis. But the first part is why we're here, why I'm suing Jenny Durkan. Hi, Pepper. The first part is why I'm suing Jenny Durkan and what she's doing. And the second part, of course, is our joint lawsuit.
Okay.
Joint lawsuit. You see what I did there?
Joint.
Anyway, so, okay, so here's the deal. First and foremost, when we come to the Durkan issue, no one other than a white woman or white women attorneys, white female attorneys, no one other than them has ever really accused me of being a dangerous person, period. You know, and while we're here, in a minute, I'll go to a split screen on this, and I'll show you some examples of it, but I'll just start talking about them now, and then I'll show one of them. But this all started back when I was working for American Tower Corporation. You know, I knew zoning laws, and I was a contract attorney for American Tower in Boston. You know, our whole communications infrastructure is built on American Tower towers that they either own or manage, okay? And at the time, I was very influential as the knave, who wasn't quite, you know, managerial quality, but I was that sub-manager person that really got it done. And so I did contracts with Verizon, all right of first refusals for Verizon, all this stuff, right? But then one day they asked me to do something illegal. And I said, well, I'm not so sure about that, right? So a whole lot of crap happened. And eventually, and I said, also, my trainees, they need overtime pay. And arguably I do too, but I know they do because they're under me. I'm training them. And so they're not exempt employees. And next thing I know, oh my God, I got walked out the door, and Jody Mitchell, a white woman, who's the vice president, ended up saying, she told people he's a dangerous, you may see him driving around. He's got an older model Saab, and he's could be around the grounds. Could be lurking around the grounds. He's a dangerous man. Yeah. So we actually made movies about this in 2003 before there was a YouTube, right? And they're still up, you know, I've shared them. And so that was the first time it happened. We ended up suing them. They tried to get a white woman to flip on me, but she didn't, because she's a Yugo. And she's like, I'm a European white girl. You're not going to get me on that. You know, Chris was right. And so guess what? They fired on her. And then she sued him. So that's the first time it happened. And then since then, guys, it's happened a number of times. And most recently here in Seattle, I've warned Jenny Durkan's first lawyer about this. Okay, we're going to get there in a second. But here in Seattle, there was a woman who accused me, one of the law firms here, I can't talk about it because we settled, in open federal court. You know, they had agreed to let me video a deposition. And so then they kicked me out during the deposition because it got too hot in there, right? So then I said, you know, I can't shoot you in federal court. I said, but I'll shoot you outside of federal court, though. They go into federal court, in open court, and say that I issued a death threat. Right. You know, wow. And I said, you can't, that's defamation, man. You have one thing in my background, guys, that people, like, I tagged Omari Salisbury in this one because I know that sometimes I think I'm too caustic for him or whatever, but brother, you better listen to this. This doesn't matter. If you disagree on approach, this doesn't matter, dude. They will criminalize you in a minute too. And I know you're accepted by the major press, but people like me who are not, even though I used to work for major press, okay, you need to look at what they're doing to Black men in this culture. And it's horrific. So, you know, I look at the situation and they try to vilify me, and I end up suing them, you know, and it was just crazy, saying that I issued a death threat, and they said it in federal court, in a public court. So that's another example. So now we come to Jenny Durkan. Oh, what do you guys think about Jenny? Well, I take this hit. What do you guys think about Jenny?
I don't pay attention to politics, honestly.
Uh-huh.
But I mean, with everything going on, I'd say she needs to step up her game or just get the hell out.
Uh-huh. John?
Well, I remember her being the Western District prosecutor over here. Is that what they call the district?
Yep, Western.
And I don't, aside from Breon Corbray's incident, I know that there was some other medical patients and stuff that she went after, different providers. Mm-hmm. So the state has basically, you know, with one hand, they say that we have medical cannabis laws, and they tout, you know, the recreational model and all that. But on the other hand, they're pretty much have been going after and destroyed the medical cannabis community. Right. Same people. So
and in so doing, that's where the Blacks had some sway at that time. And now right. Back around to recreational, all the Blacks are gone.
Yeah, I remember going into farmers markets, and there was a number of black people with booths there. So
Yeah,
you just don't see that anymore.
that's right.
I
No,
say,
right. Go ahead, Sindra. I'm sorry.
I say back in the day, like when medical was still around, I actually did have my green card,
Mhm.
and I had an Asian guy working. He had his own little grow up and whatever, up here in Shoreline. It's no longer there.
Yeah.
But it was the same thing. It's like once recreational came around, he was screwed. He was gone.
Yeah,
Right.
that's right. That's right. And 9 years later, they're still trying to figure it out.
Yep.
Oh, Pepper, I know it's ridiculous. 9 years
Yeah,
later,
Pepper's pissed.
yeah, Pepper, right. So they're still trying to figure out how to do equity 9 years later. It's pathetic. And there was a meeting today. I didn't go to it. You know what I mean? I'm too busy. So,
Mhm.
so now here's what happened here. The reason we're here, though, guys, is that there's an Ogden memo before Jenny Durkan went after Breon Corbray. So they got rid of all the medicals, but she went extra hard on him because he had 3 shops. He was like one of the most prolific black men in the city doing cannabis, doing medical cannabis, which is a constitutional issue, by the way. We'll get to that in the second part of the show. Really? So anyway, that's my vicious dog. As a black man, I've got a vicious dog. They can, if you guys are transcribing this to $250 an hour for the taxpayers, put that in there that I have a vicious dog, then show the
She's
picture.
a killer.
Killer.
Yeah.
She tried to attack me that one time.
I kissed you to death. I know, it's crazy,
I
right?
know, that was horrible. Kisses all the time.
I know, right? Dangerous. By the way, have you seen these guns? Look at that. Wait a minute. Let me just. I can't find a sock. I put a sock. I was gonna put a sock in there.
Popeye that bitch.
Yeah. Oh, I know. I'll hit you with my tennis racket. That's what I'll do. Oh, wait a second.
Man, I should get my bow staff out. I got like a 6-foot bow staff that it was just given to me as a gift. We could be a team, man.
Oh, I've got the key right here.
Oh, yes.
The 1981 Max Fly McEnroe.
Mhm.
I'll fucking whack him on the head and you can smack him with the racket and get him out of there.
That's the one you want to go after him with, the McEnroe. Anyway, so are you guys typing this out? King said he would take his vintage tennis racket out and smoke him about the head with a 2-handed backhand. All right.
With me side with my 6-foot bow staff. Don't worry.
All right, Pepper, I got another treat for you. All right,
We got the swirl going on right there.
No doubt.
Team swirl.
We're gonna get into the show now, folks. I'm gonna do a screen share in a minute, and like I say, she ignored the Ogden memo, and so before we go, all right, she's a spoiled brat. You guys know that, right?
Mhm.
Pepper,
Crazy dog.
you wanna go outside? Take your ass outside in a minute. Here you go. Here you go. Go get it. Go get it. I'll just keep throwing treats out the door. Right. So she went after Breon and those guys and the other memo. So the point was, now that we have this so-called enlightened period where we're going for equity in cannabis, I wrote a letter with Breon and I said, hey, can we have a meeting? Can we have a meeting and talk about this and move forward? And basically she ignored us. So of course I'm upset. Of course I'm going to say I'll kick your ass in court. But what they're trying to do, what this lawyer is trying to do now, is trying to imply that I'm dangerous or something like that when I'm exercising my First Amendment right to say I'll kick your ass in court. So what? It's a vilification of me because of that. I mean, who wouldn't be upset when a government official like that ignores you? It wasn't even like, I'm sorry, I don't have time or whatever. I don't think is appropriate. Just nothing from her. And
you
so
can at least give a heads up.
Yeah, and that's what happened. And so I told the first lawyer, let's go to the screen share, and I'll just share some of this because I want it for record. Share screen, share. Multiple partners can share. John, if you have something to share later too, that's cool. Screen share. Is it working yet?
No, not yet.
Okay.
No.
Multiple partners can share. Now, what if I go here and pull up this appendix? Does that show? It's not really sharing though, is it? Is it
Nope.
not showing?
I don't see nothing except your guys' faces.
Okay, hold on. Doggone it. Yeah, you can see it on the Facebook one, but that doesn't count. I want it here. Share screen. Oh, there we go. Okay. All right. Share. Allows you to share. Okay. Oh my God, I never changed anything. There. Now I got to click the lock to unlock to make the changes. What the hell? Zoom. There.
Technology's derping out, man.
Oh God. Zoom will not be able to record the contents of your screen until it is quit. Okay. What? I don't know what this is all about. All right, let's try it now. At least it's going to be on Facebook at a minimum. All right, so let's share the screen. There. Okay. Great. Okay, now we're there, right?
Yep.
Woohoo! Yes,
Woo, good Lord.
I see it.
Great.
And I see a little cruiser.
So the first time I warned the first lawyer about this, okay? And let me show you who the cast of characters is. Oh, yeah. Before we go there. All right, the cast of characters is like this here. You have, oh God, come on. Okay, the first one was Kerala Cowart. That's her. She was the first lawyer, and she was a U.S. Attorney, East Coast. And she basically, in one of the discovery requests, I said, hey, state your name and address for the record, that kind of thing. It's a standard thing. And she tried to turn it into something where I'm trying to like harass Jenny Durkan and all that stuff. And I'm like, listen, woman, all you need to do is call me and say, hey, do you really need her home address? And I would have said, oh, hell no, I don't need that. No problem. But she didn't. Instead, she tried to criminalize me and said, you're trying to do this to harass her. I've never been to Jenny Durkan's house. I've never wanted to go to Jenny Durkan's house. You know, I don't know if there's a First Amendment right to do so. I think there is, but I'm not going there, you know? And so that's one thing. And then, so this is what I wrote her. I said, oh my God, there's so many fucking pop-ups and shit. Okay. Oh my God. Desktop management. There. All right. I said, look here. She's the one who tried to say I was trying to oppress her clients. And I'm sitting there saying, I sponsored a foreclosure forum with these people. I know these people, you know, and then what I exposed was covered by a Studs Terkel award-winning writer, you know, about the the mortgage study that they used taxpayer dollars for, and then they didn't do anything with it. When Marie McDonald said you need to sue MERS because of all the fraud and corruption in mortgages, they did nothing with that. And there I am speaking. That's my picture that they published in The Intercept, okay, about it. So they already know my professionalism. They know I'm not going to go off and do something violent. This is just crazy talk from them.
Yeah.
And I told her, I said, you're an inch away from pissing me off. You know, you know, and this is ridiculous. And I made videos with O'Brien, Sawant, Nick Licata. And I said, we both graduated from top tier law schools. We both won trials. Actually, I don't know that she has. I have. And I said, so park that bus immediately. It's offensive, demeaning, and dehumanizing. You know, and God. And then so this was the first lawyer that did it. Then the next one that comes up that did it again is this one. Brandy Belanda. This one. Okay. Another white girl. Now she's the one. And by the way, folks, just so everybody knows, I got white people in my like immediate family. All right. So let's not even go there. All right. You know, brother-in-law, you know, aunts, uncles, cousins, you know, so let's not even go there. You know, like I say, as they like to say, there's good white people and there's bad white people. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty much across the board for humanity.
Yeah,
Hello.
universal statement for everyone.
Yeah, hello, right. And yeah, and these are white people acting badly. I don't know how they are in their private lives. I don't care. But in a professional life, when you're dealing with me, Don't try to say that I'm violent. It's bullshit. You have no record. You can search my whole record. You won't find any indicia of violence from me whatsoever. So don't even try to go there with that nonsense, right? So that's her deal. It's ridiculous. Brandy Belinda.
Ridiculous.
Ridiculous. It's redonkulous. And then the email I sent to her, and I said, don't do that, you know, and she had tried to tell me not to write City Hall and everything. And I said, no, you can't tell me not to write City Hall. And they brought this up, how many times I write Jenny Durkan, right? As if I'm the fault of this issue. And I says, no, we never got a meeting. I could write Jenny Durkan every damn day of my life. It has nothing to do with this litigation. Unless you have a reason to believe that I am not going to conduct a professional deposition, just shut up and suck it up. Your client's a public figure, subject to ridicule, satire, and everything except a threat, which I've never issued. And that's the law. So if you're still typing, keep typing. The taxpayers are paying for it, honey. You know? And that's your story there with this current lawyer, Randy B. Belanda from Savitt, Bruce, and Wiley. And I want to say, by the way, those are the guys that just lost a lawsuit with Art West. Did you know that?
I don't know who Art West is.
Oh, he's a cannabis activist, by the way. Yeah. But yeah.
I would call him more of a open government.
Open government, more open government. Yeah. Open
Activist,
government is right. And so I will just quickly show you a picture of that because I have it. It's in the protective order file, opposition. And just I'm making a record here. So I want to show you where that is. And by the way, here's the proof that Jenny Durkan never responded to me until after I filed the lawsuit. You know, they tried to brag about it. And they said, on July 2nd, 2021, the city notified Mr. King that an installment of records was available in response to his request submitted to the mayor's office on November 28th, 2020. Okay. I'm sorry, guys. You didn't need half a year, more than half a year to tell me that. That's the whole issue. And now that's from the office of the mayor. You didn't need half a year to tell me that. And the documents that they gave me are my own documents. Okay. So what they don't want to do is admit that Jenny did nothing. Okay. They don't want to say that because for obvious reasons. But that's what I'm working them along to. That's the whole point. Eventually, they're going to have to say that Jenny didn't give a shit, or that if she did, she didn't respond to your black ass because she didn't want to, you know? But there's the case with Art West. You know, there's Art talking to the lawyer from Savitt. This is the same law firm that Brandy B. Belanda is working for. And so there's that piece. That's like just a hilarious picture, actually.
Dude, what the hell's up with his hair? Like, it looks like he's got like a little man bun on top or something. The guy with the orange shirt.
Yeah, that's Arthur.
That's Art West. Yeah. That's Art West.
Okay.
Hey, as long
Maybe
as he's not dangerous.
He is quite a character.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
there's the book behind him, but it looks like he's got like a little like man bun like right here.
Yep.
Yep. No doubt. So there's that piece. And
well, what you got to look in there. He's got the sports jacket, but then what he's wearing under that is a t-shirt.
Yeah,
he's just taken a tie and wrapped it around his neck.
Yeah,
that's kind of what I had thought, because I was like, I've never seen a dress shirt that's like that color before.
No, it's just a t-shirt.
God, he's got the Looney Tunes tie on for the win.
Yep. Let's see. I could have helped him out on
Sylvester.
Yep, I could have helped him out on that one because I actually have a tie-dye that has a collar on it.
Oh my gosh, I know a personal tie-dye person that will make personal requests. He's huge.
Yeah, I got mine at the Oregon Country Fair a few years ago.
I wonder if he was there. He travels. He actually does like Hemp Fest and like he does like the swap meets around like Seattle and like Mount Rainier area.
Yeah.
And he's based up in Smoky Point.
Oh, my neighbor.
Yeah, you might have seen him. He just has this like crappy old van that has tie-dye out all over somewhere up there. But
nice.
He's all over. That's Tie-Dye Mafia. That's who you go to. Special requests. He'll do it.
Very cool. I can use another one of those. And they come with these really cool buttons too. The buttons are clear plastic, so they don't interrupt the pattern.
Yep.
Really nice.
No interruptions.
Yeah,
Either clear or black buttons. That's it.
that's right, hippie sexy. So, yeah, I don't want to take any more time with this bullshit from these lawyers. Sinjo, let's turn the thing over to you since you're. Let me take it out of screen share. Let's turn it over to you now, in terms of what you have to share about your experience and why you want to join this lawsuit.
Well, I mean, I think it's just a good way. Like my case, the way it ended up, like, yeah, I got dismissed without prejudice. However, this is just another like file to help you guys and like strengthen your guys' case. And why not make, why not help the cannabis community? Like, we all love cannabis. We're all in this for like the greater good. It should be equal, and people who need the medical benefits from cannabis, they should be entitled to that. And if my case can help your guys' case, like settle that, and like with the racism involved with that, if it can help, hell yeah, why not?
Well, the
Let's make
racism
it
part
great.
isn't necessarily part of our case, but it's more about like what you went through, and I mean, you were subjected to unlawful proceeding. I mean, that's you gotta explain to everybody what happened, because we gotta assume that, okay, people are watching this video for the first time. You were a bud tender, and then somebody from the LCB came in, and then what did you find out as a result of that?
Well, I found out that they had no jurisdiction or authority to be able to criminally pursue me if they weren't a certified peace officer, meaning they had BLEA training, which Agent Jung, the guy that I had the case with, he was not certified. So therefore, he really couldn't do anything about it or had the right to criminally pursue me as he did. As a result, I ended up losing my job on the spot about 2 hours later after that visit was made. And yeah, I mean, it just kind of makes it so I can't go back into the industry anymore.
It's gonna be tough.
And
We're gonna try to help you get back in, but it's gonna be tough. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, you just have to find like a I-502 retail industry owner who like is very lenient or doesn't care or is very understanding about that.
Mhm. Yeah, and
Right.
more to the point, also, what there was a misconception that we had initially was that BLEA training would get it done, but then Levi Lyon, right?
Yes.
And you're familiar what happened with his vans, with his RVs,
Yeah, I got confiscated unlawfully.
and you're aware that Mr. Novak and I and a couple others were involved in helping him, and talking with his lawyers to get the case dismissed as well.
Yes, as both of you were with mine.
Exactly. As a matter of fact, and by the way, so what we found out was that, and this is an Agent Jung's deposition that you were present for, that we did live on Facebook. That'll be a first and a last, but got him on that one. So,
Mickey's okay.
boom, that's the boom.
Oh yeah, there you go. Oh, guns.
Oh, I see it. So anyway, what it was exposed was that when Robbie Satterley, who was Agent Jung's contemporary, he went to BLEA training, came back, and there's a letter he was supposed to produce on the day we took his deposition.
Yep.
And that letter, it said, you're still not certified peace officer. Then he left and he went to another full service agency.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think it was near Vancouver, Washington, somewhere in that area.
Right.
So now, does that mean he got his training there, or is he just kind of pussyfooting around?
Well, he won't need it now. I mean, I think he has enough BLEA plus his background. I think he's going to be okay because he's at a different type of agency.
Well, yeah, he's in a general authority agency, so he is now most definitely a peace officer.
Right.
Because they have that jurisdiction, or they're a peace officer agency primarily.
Yeah.
Hard eye roll.
Yeah. Right. Right. And so, as was noted in the letter, I mean, you and I had talked with your public defender, Sam Backman,
Yep.
a million times. We had like 4 or 5 Zoom calls, all this stuff. He used about that much of what I told him. And then next thing you know, case is dismissed. The next day we had that Zoom meeting, and the next day,
Yeah.
gone. Right.
Well, see, the interesting thing about that was like we had our meeting, and then the next morning when it was time for my case, my court time.
Yeah.
He came in and he comes and sits down next to me and he goes, so after we did the Zoom, I got a message or email from the attorney or whatever, the higher up, saying that all cases would be postponed, for trial. And so literally, like, not even 5 minutes before it was my turn, before the judge called me up, Sam had told me that. And so I'm sitting there, and then all of a sudden we go up, and then boom, dismissed without prejudice.
Wow.
And that was a little bit of a surprise. I think Sam was a bit surprised too, because he was like, I found that out just a few hours after we had the meeting.
Yeah. See, they were waiting till the last minute, hoping you would take a plea or just back out or just get scared, and you went through this whole agonizing process for months and months and months. And we just kept telling you, Sinjo, stay the course. And we told Sam, they're not going to prosecute this. We know they're not. And then boom, they didn't, just as what happened with Levi. And the fact of the matter is, I don't see how, we're going to move on to another aspect of federal jurisdiction in a minute, but when you are not a cop and you act as if you're a cop and you do it under color of law, it's a civil rights violation. Every day it is. It'd be like, and I said this before and I'll say it again, when I was an assistant attorney general, I could not put a gumball light on the top of my BMW, which I had one back then, the same one I drive now, different car, same model. I could not put a gumball light on that BMW, drive around and say, yo, give me your fucking weed, dude. It doesn't work, and that's basically what LCB is doing.
Right.
Yeah. Are you guys typing this too? Keep typing. I'm a fast typist. I can type it for you if you want. Look at it. Look at his fingers. Look at that. Look at that.
Oh, you're being violent again.
Oh, I know.
Hold it. Calm down. Calm down. I feel threatened right now, guys.
Oh. Wait a minute. What's in his pocket?
Oh my God, he's got a gun!
Lint. Anyway, so that's one basis of jurisdiction. The other one, there's two more. Okay, so we have your case. Then we have the situation where basically the LCB is involved in a lot of equity sharing. I mean, not equity sharing, but seizure. Damn it, John, what's it called again?
Well, you had it right. It's the equity sharing program. Yeah.
Yeah, it is the equity sharing program with the federal government.
Right. So basically what's going on with that is different agencies, supposed to be primarily law enforcement or peace officer agencies, but what they do is they basically go out, seize your stuff, and then turn it over to the feds, and then the feds will share a part of the proceeds in that. And actually, that whole process is rooted back in the days of privateers and pirates. And basically what happened is the king would send out the privateers to go loot on behalf of the king, as long as they would bring the stuff back and give it to the king first.
Right.
And so the only difference between a privateer and a pirate was the privateer brought the booty back to the king.
Say booty. Say
The
booty.
booty.
The booty.
The loot.
The booty. It's all about the booty. It's always about the booty.
It's a holdover from English law, and why we still have that in America, I don't know. Because we're supposed to have be innocent until proven guilty.
Well, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Supposed to be innocent until proven guilty, and under those seizure laws, you are considered guilty, and so they take it ahead of time.
That's right.
And then you're left with that's when you're left to file civil actions and try to get your stuff back.
That's right. And I had prepared that for Levi. It's called a replevin action, by the way. I know what I'm talking about. I drafted that, and that's basically what Levi's lawyers later on took the law out of it and then used it to get his case dismissed, which is the same information that Sinjo's attorney used to get her case dismissed. So people guess, not like I don't know what I'm talking about. And like all of a sudden I don't know what I'm talking about. And so one more thing. There's one more thing. There's one more thing here too on my chat. I want to bring this up real quick. Pepper, you need to quit. You need to quit. You got two more. All right. Oh my God, dude. You know what?
She's mad. She's pissed.
Yeah, I'm gonna I'm going to do a screen share again real quick. We're running out of time. We got about 6 minutes left. Okay. All right. And this is what I want to share with you guys. I sent this to Novak earlier. Okay. And this is part of the deal too. Oh my God. Pepper. Come here. Come here. Pepper, I love you. Why don't you go outside? Go get that. Take care. Take it far. Hey, Brandy, guess what? Now I'm a dog abuser. I told my dog to go outside and take it.
And it's
far.
so cold.
I know. I'm so bad. So, okay. This here is the Case Western Reserve. That's my law school, by the way. It was top 50 at the time. It's still in the top 100, I think. A faculty member. This is not a student. This is a faculty member. The constitutional right to make medical treatment decisions, a tale of two doctrines. In this document, which I won't get into right now, in that document is a reference to a Ninth Circuit case involving this very issue. So how, on the federal side, on our case, how can you, the argument is that because of testing, the lack of testing and other issues, that the people who need medical are not getting the quality cannabis that they need. And John Novak, another expert witness we will have, John Novak's neurologist is saying that the part of his problem is occasioned because of the hot pot that's not tested. So there's a disparate impact on an insular minority of people who can be readily identified. God, man, I am hell in a courtroom. I know what I'm talking. I know what I'm doing, and it's just ridiculous. These people are trying to just say, like, I don't know what I'm talking about. Well, damn it, my own law school is saying it, and I got one more. Here's another one, and I didn't.
Another one.
I got another one. This guy, Professor. This is marijuana federalism. Uncle Sam and Mary Jane, right? Jonathan Adler. Okay. He is the director of the Coleman P. Burke Center for Environmental Law at Case Western Reserve University School of Law. Guess what? I studied under him. That dude has been at Case Western for like 35 years. I graduated in 93. I know that dude. Okay. So it's just like, now all of a sudden what? And I think I took admin law from him. But it's like, wow, guys. So what now? All of a sudden I've forgotten everything I've learned or something? What, did I have an aneurysm or something, or a subdural hematoma or something?
You suffered from hypoxia?
God, it's just, I'll tell you, this juggernaut that we're dealing with is unbelievable. And I thank you guys for joining me this afternoon to make this documented thing that we're going to put on YouTube, even though they've dummied me down big time. I've got 6,500 subscribers and get like 9 views now because they're like, oh, let's throttle that nigga back. It's just, I don't know what we do with it. But I mean, I do have some other avenues in Hollywood that I'm working on that we won't discuss now. But we have to do what we have to do. And it's up to these judges to do the right thing and give us something in court.
Yep, exactly. Yeah. I don't know what else we can give them after this.
Maybe we can throw joints at them and tell them to lighten the fuck up. Here, you might feel more relaxed and understand. Smoke that. Take it.
I'm gonna venture a guess that they've done that in their lifetime at least once.
Oh, I know for a fact. As a matter of fact, Martinez, the judge that was through Brian Corbray, Brian knew his marijuana dealer.
Huh.
Oh yeah.
Well, then he needs to take the fucking light bulb out of his ass and lighten the fuck up.
Something.
I mean, it's not that bad. It's not cocaine. It's not meth. It's not heroin. Like, what the hell?
It grows in the ground. And by the way, while I'm still here, before I go, we got about 3 minutes, and but I think we've done it. This is a product. This is This is a bag full of dope from our expert witness, Frank Geezy, who, by the way, worked for Fish and Game and was one of the first medicals in the city, by the way. He took his first year's taxes down to the city. It was 52 grand, took it down a gunny sack, and they had no idea what to do with it. It's in his affidavit. He's an internationally known grower. And this here is it's a 1812. So we're talking 18 CBD and 12 on the I can't get it on the camera.
There it is. There, I see a nug. Oh, no, I don't.
Yeah. Can't quite get it. Anyway, it's an 1812 pepper. Oh, no, that's not for you. It's an 1812 CBD to THC, which is the perfect stoichiometric ratio. Just like when you burn gas in your car, the perfect stoichiometric ratio is like 14 point something to 1. And of course, with cannabis, it's different because you're gonna have different people who want different things. But this is a great blend of a body relaxation and a body high and a little bit of high too. That you can still function on it. And this is pretty much all I smoke. Pretty much every now and then I'll burn something really high strung like late at night. But I just motor on this. It's great. And you are welcome to taste of it anytime, guys. Love you.
All
Love
right.
you too. We'll have to have like a giant smoke session one night, it sounds like.
We haven't done that yet. Yeah.
No.
Well, you know what? Let's go down to the federal courthouse. We'll pile in the Bimmer. We'll go down to the federal courthouse with Pepper. Yep. By the way, just so you know, cars are called Bimmers. Motorcycles are Beamers. And this is because back in the 60s and 50s, BSA were motorcycles, and BSA was like the biggest brand. And so they would say, we're working on a Beezer. But if you had a BMW, they would say, we're working on a Beamer.
Mm-hmm.
So the cars came out, and to distinguish the cars from the motorcycles, the cars are Bimmers.
Interesting. I had an ex-boyfriend whose grandparents owned BMW Seattle, and I dated that guy for like a couple of years. I never heard that. So that's interesting.
Oh yeah, trust me. One of my friends from high school owned Jaguar, Cleveland, Volvo, BMW. And so I grew up in these cars. We drove Volvos. We couldn't afford BMWs. Like the car that I drive now, it was like 10 grand more than our Volvo, and there was no way. But I've had a bunch of BMWs. Yeah, but wait a minute, you know what? Apparently, I know nothing about law. I also know nothing about BMWs. What can I say?
Hey, you get it all here.
You get it all here.
About nothing, so it's okay.
I know nothing. I have reached
nothing about anything. So
56 years of age, and I know nothing.
Yep.
All right, guys.
Smoke session.
Yeah.
All of us link up.
Okay, less than a minute. Everybody, give me the peace.
Deuces.
All right, ciao, guys.
See you later.
Bye.
Beautiful. That's what it's about. And end.